Kira and welcome back to another video. The end of the year is just around the corner and I know that this time of year can be really busy, hectic and kind of overwhelming. As well as being just an exciting time of year, there is so much going on that it can just get a little bit much, especially when paired with the fact that the new year is just around the corner, and that is of course a time of year where we all put so much pressure on ourselves to set new goals and to start achieving things immediately. And whilst I would definitely say that I am a goal-oriented person, I love making to-do lists, I love setting myself targets and goals of things that I'd like to achieve, I also don't think it's really very helpful to suddenly just decide that you have to start setting goals and you have to start achieving things just because the date on the end of the calendar has changed. And so with that in mind, today I have something really exciting to share with you all that I'm hoping will help you to combat that feeling that I think a lot of us share of just feeling a little bit overwhelmed and apprehensive at the end of the year as the new year is sort of starting and kicking off and you just don't know what to do with all of the pressure that you might be feeling to set loads and loads of goals. And that is the Rest and Reset Readathon, which is a readathon that I'm so excited to be co-hosting alongside my friend Soleil from the channel The Little Reader's Corner. In general, the new year can be a little bit of a hectic time to say the least because you're back to work after Christmas or back to school after Christmas and just getting back into the swing of things, as well as trying to stay on top of all of the new goals and resolutions that you've set yourself. And I personally feel like 2021 is going to be an even more pressure-filled new year because I think globally 2020 has been a difficult year, and I think there's going to be a lot of pressure to make 2021 feel like a better year, even though that's something that's not really within our control. So Soleil and I came up with this idea for the Rest and Reset Readathon, which will be happening in the middle of January, as an opportunity to, exactly as the title suggests, take some time to rest, take a step back, and hopefully just reset and find that sense of calm within yourself. It's going to be a super chilled out readathon. There's no pressure to read like 10 books or anything like that. It's really about taking the time to just take some time just for you to wind down after the hectic festive period that we've obviously had in December, and basically just reconnect with yourself, maybe set some goals for the new year, but really just take that time for self-care, for resetting and giving yourself permission to just relax and take a weekend just for you. So this is a weekend-long readathon and it's going to be happening on the 16th and 17th of January, which is, I think, a perfect weekend for this because it's right in the middle of the month, and I feel like that is when you really feel that pressure looming because the festivities have fully flown away for the year and you're kind of just settling into winter and basically just trying to keep on top of everything. And I feel like that can be the time of month where the overwhelming feeling really sets in, and I'm hoping that this readathon will be an opportunity to just take some time for you, relax and just calm down. So because this readathon is all about resting, relaxing, resetting, and just taking that time to chill out, Soleil and I decided to theme it around the concept of mind, body, soul. And so we have created 6 prompts for the readathon, 3 prompts for each of the 2 days. And on both days there is 1 body prompt, 1 mind prompt, and 1 soul prompt. They're all very general and down to your interpretation, so you can really make it work for you and what you want to take from this weekend. But we're hoping that this will give you the opportunity to really focus on allowing yourself to dive into resetting in every aspect of your life. So on day number 1, Saturday the 16th of January, our mind prompt is to try something new. This can be absolutely anything at all that you might have been wanting to try, because I feel like the new year is a great opportunity to try new things and you always want to learn new hobbies and new skills. So any of the things that you've maybe been thinking about starting, this is your opportunity to do them. It could be embroidery, it could be painting, it could be pottery, it could be learning how to paint your nails really fancy, it could be reading a new type of book, learning to do a puzzle, anything, literally anything that you haven't done before that you've been thinking about maybe wanting to do, this is your opportunity to do it. I'm leaning towards something crafty, like either painting, because I have always wanted to follow a Bob Ross painting tutorial, or maybe some pottery, because I saw in another vlog which Zoe Sugg did recently, she talked about a brand called Sculpt, where they basically send you a load of clay and some directions and you can make like a pot or a mug or something like that. So that's something that I'm thinking about doing. You could also bake something that you've never baked before, or really do absolutely anything. So that is the mind prompt. Give yourself the opportunity to try something new and maybe learn a new skill. The body prompt on the first day of the readathon is going to be to do a self-care activity. Self-care is so individual, and it really does come down to what you feel like you need on that day, which is why we've left it as a very general self-care activity. Your self-care might be doing a face mask, having a bath, watching a movie, going for a walk, making yourself a drink and giving yourself time to just sit down and enjoy it. There's so many things, and it really is just about tapping into what you need on that day, trying to reconnect with yourself and just allow yourself to do something just for you. There doesn't need to be a purpose to it, you just need to do something which is self-care. And then the third and final prompt for the first day of the readathon, which is our soul prompt, is give yourself the time to watch a TV show or a movie. I'm so excited for this one because I love TV, I love movies, it's so nice to just sit down and watch them, but I also think at the start of the new year when things are really, really busy, it often seems like something that isn't a priority, or maybe that's like a waste of time, which absolutely isn't true, because as a yoga teacher, I full-heartedly believe that rest is just as important as activity, and that when you give yourself time to enjoy those leisure activities, you then can put more into these more productive activities that you might be doing in the rest of your life. When you fully focus on productivity, you don't give yourself time to relax, and then you can't really put your best into those activities. So taking time just to watch a TV show or a movie and not worry about having to tick anything off your to-do list is the soul prompt for the first day of the readathon. Then moving on to day 2, which is Sunday the 17th of January. And the mind prompt for day 2 of the readathon is to pick up a book and have a little read. We've been very specific about having a little read because we don't want this to be a pressure-filled readathon. It's completely up to you how much you want to read, but I often feel like at the beginning of the year, you've set a new Goodreads goal, it can often feel a bit overwhelming, and actually you end up not really reading that much. So we've just said, pick up a book and have a little read, because reading is such a wonderful activity. I'm sure most of you agree if you watch me on this channel, because I talk about books a lot, and just reading in and of itself is a self-care activity, but there's no pressure to finish a book, to read any particular amount of pages. We just want you to pick up a book, read as much of it as you'd like, and that's our body prompt for the second day of the readathon, is to do a mindful activity. Some of the things I'm thinking about doing are to actually do a meditation, which is definitely one of my goals for the new year. I do yoga all the time, but meditating is something that I still need to make part of my regular practice, which I know is probably quite bad seeing as I'm a yoga teacher, but I definitely want to give myself time to meditate. So that's probably something I'm going to do. I'll also probably do a yoga class, and I might go out for a walk and try and have some screen-free time. So if you don't want to do like a physical form of movement for the body, it doesn't actually have to be like a physical practice like yoga. You could meditate, but you also could just do any of your normal daily activities mindfully. So that could literally be making your drink in the morning, like you might have a coffee every day, and actually taking the time to follow the process, not being distracted by the TV, the radio, your phone, and then just sitting down and enjoying the drink and really just processing it. You could do the same with your breakfast. Having that screen-free opportunity to just enjoy and process the experience you're having is absolutely fine as well. So whatever mindful activity you want to do is completely up to you. And then the final prompt for the readathon, which is the soul prompt for day 2, is to take some time to reflect on the year that has just passed and maybe set some new goals. There's no pressure to set hundreds of resolutions and stick to them all, but it's a nice opportunity at the beginning of the year to just think about maybe what you want to achieve in the new year, and also to think about what you did achieve last year. 2020 was a difficult year, but it was also a year where I think a lot of people kind of came out of their sort of shells and actually really sort of showed themselves what they could achieve. At least that was the experience I had. I feel like 2020 was a year where I actually did achieve quite a few things, and actually you don't often give yourself credit for what you have achieved, and it can be a nice opportunity to just reflect on what you did manage to do in the year that's gone past, even if that was just something really small that you're just proud of, and then thinking about if there's anything that you do want to achieve in the next year. So those are all of the prompts for the readathon. However, we know that there isn't a lot of reading prompts in there for a readathon, so we also have 2 additional optional reading prompts. Like we said, we want this to be a really relaxed and chilled out readathon, so we don't want to put any pressure on for people to read loads of books if they just want to have a calm weekend. However, I'm probably going to try and do a little bit more reading, because that is something that I really like to do when I just want to rest and reset, because reading is something that you can do without any screens, and it's just really nice to take that time with you and a book. So we have 2 reading prompts which are completely optional. The first one is to reread an old favourite. which I'm very excited about. And the second one is to read a book that is still on your shelves from 2020. Maybe a book that you were hoping to read by the end of 2020 but didn't quite get to. Maybe a book that you bought in 2020 and haven't managed to read yet. Or maybe a book that you were given for Christmas over the Christmas period in 2020. Basically anything that's still on your shelves from last year would work for this prompt. And those are the two completely optional reading prompts that we have. I'm honestly so excited for this readathon, and I know Soleil is as well, because not only is it a great opportunity to take some time for self-care, to allow yourself to reset and just take some time to rest, it's also hopefully going to be a really great opportunity to connect with people all around the world. I'm obviously here in the UK, so Lei is based in Hawaii, and of course we have connected through the world of YouTube, and it's just a great opportunity to connect with people all around the world and to share this experience of having a chilled out readathon weekend, which I think is especially nice at this current time in history where we can't really connect with people in person as much as we may be used to. So hopefully this is going to be an opportunity to connect and just find that sense of community. So with that in mind, this is going to be a readathon that we're obviously going to be sharing on social media. I'm definitely going to be vlogging the experience, but I'm also going to be sharing updates throughout the readathon on social media and also my TBR in advance of the readathon. And we have created the hashtag Rest Reset Read, which you can use on Twitter and on Instagram to keep us updated with your progress, anything that you're up to. I'd especially love to see what activity you all choose to do when we have the try something new or do something new. I'd love to see what you all end up doing, because I think that one's going to be particularly fun. But I'd also love to see your TBRs, any books that you read, any mindful activities that you do, and basically just everything that you do throughout this readathon. So just as a reminder, this readathon is taking place on Saturday the 16th and Sunday the 17th of January 2021, which just sounds like such a bizarre date to say. I can't believe 2021 is going to be here. And I am so excited about this. I hope you are as well, and I hope you give yourself this opportunity to take time for that rest and resetting, which is just so important for our overall well-being. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Soleil's channel, The Little Reader's Corner, is going to be linked in the description box down below, so definitely go and check her out and subscribe, because she created the incredible graphic for this readathon, which is just so beautiful. I'm literally in love with it. It's just giving me all of the calming vibes that I think I'm going to get from the readathon. So I'm really excited about this. I hope you've had a wonderful end to your 2020 as this year draws to a close, and that now you can kind of go into the new year feeling a little bit more calm, knowing that this wonderfully relaxing and calming readathon is waiting for you in the middle of the month. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.